Talk about Angel Moroni. I hope that was an interesting, understanding where it came from. But since this symbol has taken on such relevance to us as a people, it seems that let's see, 2 Nephi 31:3, for the Lord God giveth light unto the understanding, for he speaketh unto men according to their language, unto their understanding. I love that. God speaks to all of us in ways that we understand, which is why pretty much every faith tradition can work for those who are seeking and connected to God rather than just the tradition, right? And I happen to love my faith tradition. I think it works really, really well. But anyway, the point I was making is that since this is such a central icon to us as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it seems like it would be a good way for God to communicate with us potentially, right? And so that's what I want to talk about. We claim that Moroni's trumpet represents the voice of warning to all nations, right? That's definitely one of its symbols. And so I found it fascinating. I'm sure many of you did as well, that on March 12th, 2020, the church leaders sent out for many what was a shocking letter officially shutting down all operations and church meetings indefinitely. It said, beginning immediately, all public gatherings of church members are being temporarily suspended worldwide until further notice. That really hit me for a lot of reasons that I'll go into. For my personal reason, I want, the prophets who see around corners or the watchman on a tower to warn us of things coming in a way that can help us discern correctly and choose the right and be on the right side, not with whatever global forces are going around trying to destroy the freedom of all mankind. Sorry, let you a little too much insight into my view of that whole situation. But that was shocking to me when that letter was sent, because here we had the members of the church who traditionally really value freedom, especially in Utah, where I've always lived, right? We really value freedom. Our own scriptures talk about the Constitution being divinely inspired and only supposed to be like the government is supposed to be limited to only what the Constitution allows it to do. And all of a sudden, when that was being really intensely threatened on a world stage, we have had leaders in the past warning us about these things. I think that most of the members would have argued against that, would have pushed back, would have not just gone along. But all of a sudden, it came from our church and it came from our church leaders. So everyone just seemed to go right along with it, which shocked me. So anyway, I didn't mean to go into that so much, but less than a week after that letter, Salt Lake experienced a rather moderate 5.7 earthquake. There were no casualties and few, if any, injuries, none that were noteworthy. But in what seemed almost too incredible to believe, the quake caused Angel Moroni to drop his horn. And that was symbolism to me that was inescapable. You can see how incredible it was. I didn't realize that the trumpet and the hand and arm weren't even joined solidly. I thought that they were, but it just perfectly shook the trumpet away from Angel Moroni. So for people who believe in God and have any use for signs or miracles, this seems like it could be one of the most dramatic and explicit signs anyone could possibly ask for, even more than a sudden tornado and lightning storm that brought down the Nauvoo temple, the ruins of the Nauvoo temple, right? I can't help but wonder if it might perhaps be worthwhile to pay attention to this sign. So I know there are people who don't see the world this way at all and just will laugh. That's fine. I do see the world this way. I believe in erring on the side of faith, not to the point of going crazy or, but just kind of going, okay, are there signs? Should I just assume everything is a coincidence? Or should I also believe that, there are forces at work in the universe that communicate to us, that care about us? That's how I view the world. So anyway, I think I can't help but think that we maybe as a people and as a church would pay a lot more attention to an event like this if it told a story that we wanted to hear, right? I think if something this just crazy, this seemingly miraculous happened, that was in our favor, I think we would be shouting it from the rooftops, right? That's what we tend to do. We would be talking about it all the time. But as it was, it seems that we just wanted to brush it under the rug. In that very strange 2020 April General Conference, which was less than a month after this happened, there was not a single reference to it. You would never have known that it had even happened. It wasn't referred to at all. And so, after standing atop the temple for 127 years, the trumpetless Moroni was brought down the next month, May 2020. And I had to laugh. I'm sure I'm reading too much into it, maybe, but I laughed that they sort of put a shirt on him and covered up those bare shoulders when they brought him down. I just find that to be a fun part of this episode, fun part of the story. So, going back to it, instead of paying attention to this just unbelievable and I think perhaps meaningful event or taking it seriously at all, it seems that we've chosen a different direction. Instead of listening to what this icon could teach us in dropping its trumpet, we instead seem to be stepping away from the icon, right? We are moving away from the angel Moroni symbol, is how it looks to me. So